causing traffic congestion at fuel stations. Federal government pays over 200 billion naira to power generating companies. On the foreign scene, United States accuses Iran of cyber attack on Kamala Harris, Donald Trump election campaigns. And in sports, Flamingo's head coach invites 35 players to camp ahead FIFA Women's World Cup finals. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, has issued a warning to motorists against causing traffic congestion while queuing for fuel at various filling stations and impeding the free movement of other road users. General Manager of LASMA, Olalekan Bakariuki, gave the warning as he deployed additional officers to monitor traffic around fuel stations across the state. Bakariuki expressed dissatisfaction with the chaotic behavior of some drivers who park carelessly and disrupt the smooth flow of traffic around petrol stations. He reiterated that effective traffic management is essential for achieving a seamless multimodal transportation system in Lagos, while urging the public to make use of LASMA's newly inaugurated toll-free call center 0800 0052 7865 for complaints, comments, and commendations. In a related development, many tankers are currently at various depots in Lagos waiting to load premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, for onward delivery to states across the country as the scarcity of fuel worsens. This is as the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) says it is working hard to tackle the fuel supply challenges, stressing that the queues should clear by midweek. Chief Corporate Communications Officer of NNPC, Olufemi Shoneye, explains that the major issue is an evacuation challenge out of the Apapa ports in Lagos from the vessel. On his part, National Publicity Secretary of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ukadike Chinedu, said the challenges in the downstream oil sector were compounded by the recent nationwide hunger protests. According to him, aside from the fact that there is not enough supply, the recent protests disrupted activities in the downstream oil sector. The Paracetamol Monitoring Office, PMO, has paid a working visit to the Lagos State Council for Arts and Culture, LSCAC, for an assessment of the agency's performance and adherence to its mandate. Permanent Secretary, Paracetamol Monitoring Office, Adetutu Oshosoya, who led the PMO team, said the visit aims to evaluate the Council's effectiveness in promoting cultural programs, maintaining infrastructure, engaging communities, and managing administrative processes. She noted that LSCAC has successfully organized various cultural events with a strong community involvement, but pointed out the need for more infrastructure improvements and efficient resource allocation. Responding, the Chief Executive Officer, Lagos State Council for Arts and Culture, Idowu Johnson, thanked the team for the visit, support and suggestions, maintaining that the Council is committed to addressing the inadequacy of all the noted areas for improvement. As the rainy season gets to its peak, the Kaduna State Emergency Management Agency, KATSEMA, has warned people living in flood-prone areas to vacate to safer areas to avoid imminent flooding. In a statement, its Executive Secretary, Usman Mazadu, said 7 local government areas are at risk of flooding, especially communities along waterways in anticipation of heavy downpour. Mazadu explained that it has become necessary to notify the flood-prone communities about the torrential rainfall experienced between Sunday, August 18 and Monday, August 19, and still going on without abating. He noted that the heavy rainfall might result in the overflow of rivers, particularly in the local government areas with rivers or tributaries crossing through. And now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has paid off 205 billion naira of the 1.3 trillion naira debt owed to power generation companies in a move aimed at boosting liquidity in the power sector. Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu made this known in Abuja during an oversight visit by the House of Representatives Committee on Power. Adelabu emphasized the need for lawmakers to hold the executive accountable for settling outstanding debts to players in the sector and must therefore sustain their pressure to achieve this goal. He also announced plans by the federal government to introduce a franchising system for power distribution. According to him, the franchising system will allow trusted investors take over existing power distribution infrastructure, bring in new transformers, reconstruct cables, and supply power to customers. In return, the investors will pay royalties to the government. Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Power, Victor Nwokolo, urged the minister to maintain Nigeria's recent achievement of 5,000 megawatts electricity generation while proposing stricter laws against power assets vandalism, which has become a significant problem. Meanwhile, electricity distribution companies in Nigeria have lamented that no fewer than 20 of the 36 state governments in the country have refused to pay their electricity bills. The DISCO said some states owe electricity bills consumed by the State House or the Secretariat. Executive Director of Research and Advocacy, Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors, Sunday Odunton, said most government agencies are used to free electricity before privatization, saying they have refused to adjust since the sector was privatized. Odunton recalled that the Asa Rock Villa owed electricity bills before President Bola Tinubu ordered that it be paid. He lamented that when the discos attempted to recover the debts from the state government, they would have their offices sealed over claims of unpaid taxes to the state. Odunton advised discos to always pay their taxes, but warned that states should not be mischievous, as the association intends to publish the list of indebted states as soon as possible. The Nigerian Correctional Service, NCOS, has registered over 10,000 inmates for the West African Senior School Certificate Examination, WASSCE, and the National Examinations Council, NECO, exams over the past 5 years. NCOS spokesperson Umar Abubakar explained that more than 2,000 inmates are enrolled annually for these exams across correctional facilities nationwide. This, he said, reflected the growing success and acceptance of the NCOS educational programs, noting that the number of enrolled inmates increases each year, showing a greater commitment to education among the inmates. Umar called on NECO, WAEC, and the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, to offer exam waivers for inmates, as NOUN had done, to facilitate their rehabilitation and resettlement. Now to foreign news. The United States has accused Iran of launching cyber attacks on the presidential campaigns of Kamala Harris and Donald Trump and targeting U.S. voters with influence operations designed to exacerbate political division. The assessment from the FBI and other federal agencies marks the first time the U.S. government has assigned blame amid renewed fears of the threat of foreign election interference in the country's election. In a statement, the federal agencies said the intelligence community is confident Iranian operatives using social engineering and other means sought access to individuals with direct access to the presidential campaigns of both parties. Meanwhile, Iran's mission to the United Nations issued a statement calling the allegations unsubstantiated and devoid of any standing and challenged Washington to release evidence for the claim. Now, sport. Nigeria's under-17 girls head coach Bankole Olowokere has invited 35 players to the camp as the team commences the first phase of final preparations for the 8th FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup Finals to be staged in the Dominican Republic later this year. The Flamingos notched an awe-inspiring total of 25 goals in 6 matches in the qualifying race, routing the Central African Republic by 6 goals in each leg, dismissing Burkina Faso 7-1 on aggregate in the third round and turning back Liberia 6-1 on aggregate in the final round. Harmony Chidi, who set a jaw-dropping record of 13 goals in the qualifying series, tops the list of invitees alongside her strike partner, Peace Efyong, with team captain Taiwo Afolabi, goalkeeper Christiana Uzoma, and defender Priska Nwachukwu. The tournament will be staged in Santiago de la Calaberos and Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic between 16th October and 3rd November. And that is our news at 10. Just before we go, slow down at road junctions, intersections, and pedestrian crossings. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch your news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know the Sanwo-Olu administration initiated 500 hectares rice farm technology intervention project? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, has issued a warning to motorists against causing traffic congestion while queuing for fuel at various filling stations and impeding the free movement of other road users. The federal government has paid off 205 billion naira of the 1.3 trillion naira debt owed to power generation companies in a move aimed at boosting liquidity in the power sector. We also told you that the United States has accused Iran of launching cyber attacks on the presidential campaigns of Kamala Harris and Donald Trump and targeting U.S. voters with influence operations designed to exacerbate political division. And in sport, Nigeria's under-17 girls head coach Bankole Oluwokere has invited 35 players to the camp as the team commences the first phase of final preparations for the 8th FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup Finals to be staged in the Dominican Republic later this year. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is news broadcast compiled by Adewale Oluboroko. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.